The world is changing. For decades, a few powerful countries controlled the global stage. This is no longer the case. The upcoming BRICS Summit in Kazan, Russia, is a sign of this shift. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries are becoming major players in the world. They are challenging the old order. The summit is a chance for these nations to discuss their shared interests. They want to have more say in global affairs. The summit will cover many topics, from economics to security. It is a sign of the growing importance of these nations. The world is moving towards a multipolar system. This means that power is more spread out. No single country or group of countries will dominate. The BRICS nations are at the forefront of this change. The summit in Kazan is a key moment in this transition. The decisions made there could shape the world for years to come. It is a time of great opportunity, but also of uncertainty. The future of global politics is being written right now. The BRICS nations are not content with the status quo. They believe that the current global system is unfair. It favors the rich and powerful at the expense of the rest. These emerging economies want to create a more just and equitable world order. One way they are doing this is by creating their own institutions. The New Development Bank, for example, is an alternative to the World Bank. It is designed to finance development projects in emerging markets. The BRICS nations are also challenging the dominance of the US dollar. They are increasingly using their own currencies for trade and investment. This could eventually lead to a multipolar currency system. The rise of the BRICS is a direct challenge to the old order. It is a sign that the world is no longer content with Western dominance. The Kazan summit will be a key test of the BRICS' resolve to reshape the global order. The West is facing a difficult choice. It can either adapt to the new reality of a multipolar world or cling to the past. The former offers the best hope for a peaceful and prosperous future. The latter is a recipe for conflict and decline. Some in the West are calling for a more confrontational approach to the BRICS. They see these countries as a threat that must be contained. This is a dangerous and short-sighted view. A wiser course would be to engage with the BRICS constructively. The West should seek common ground on issues such as climate change, terrorism, and global poverty. The West must recognize that the world is changing. The days of unipolarity are over. The future belongs to those who can adapt to this new reality. The Kazan summit will be a test of the West's wisdom and foresight. The BRICS summit is not just about the interests of 5 countries, it is about giving a voice to the global South. These are the countries of Latin America, Africa, Asia, and Oceania that were often marginalized in the past. The BRICS nations are all from the global South. They understand the challenges these countries face. They want to create a world where all countries have an equal opportunity to succeed. The summit will provide a platform for the Global South to discuss its concerns. These include issues such as poverty, inequality, and climate change. The BRICS nations are committed to working together to address these challenges. The Kazan summit is an opportunity for the Global South to make its voice heard. The decisions made there could have a profound impact on the lives of billions of people. It is a chance to create a more just and equitable world for all. Section 5. Reshaping Global Cooperation. The BRICS nations are not seeking to destroy the existing system of global governance. They believe it can be reformed to make it more representative and effective. The Kazan summit will be an opportunity to discuss how to achieve this. One area where reform is needed is the United Nations Security Council. The current composition of the Security Council reflects the power dynamics of 1945, not the 21st century. The BRICS nations believe that the Security Council should be expanded to give developing countries a greater voice. Another area where reform is needed is the global financial system. The BRICS nations believe that the current system is too dominated by the West. They are calling for a more equitable system that reflects the growing weight of emerging economies. The Kazan summit will be an opportunity to discuss concrete proposals for reforming global governance. The BRICS nations are committed to working with other countries to create a more just and effective system of global cooperation. Section 6. The currency question, a new reserve system. One of the most closely watched issues at the Kazan summit will be the future of the global reserve currency system. The US dollar has held this position for decades. However, its dominance is being challenged by the rise of other currencies, such as the Chinese yuan. The BRICS nations have been increasingly vocal in their calls for a more diversified reserve currency system. They argue that the current system is too reliant on the US dollar, which exposes them to risks associated with US economic policies. While a sudden shift away from the US dollar is unlikely, the BRICS nations are taking concrete steps to reduce their dependence on it. They are promoting the use of their own currencies in international trade and investment. The Kazan summit could see further discussions on the creation of a BRICS-backed currency or payment system. This would be a significant development with far-reaching implications for the global financial order. Section 7. Economic powerhouse. The rise of BRICS. The combined economic might of the BRICS nations is undeniable. They represent a significant portion of global GDP and are among the fastest-growing economies in the world. This economic power is translating into greater geopolitical influence. The BRICS nations are leveraging their economic clout to secure access to resources, markets and technology. They're investing heavily in infrastructure, both domestically and abroad, through initiatives like China's Belt and Road Initiative. This economic rise is reshaping global trade patterns. South-South trade, or trade between developing countries, is increasing rapidly. The BRICS nations are playing a leading role in this trend. The Kazan summit will provide a platform for the BRICS nations to further their economic cooperation. They are expected to announce new trade deals and investment partnerships. The summit will be a showcase of the BRICS' growing economic power. Section 8. Technological advancement and cooperation. The BRICS nations are not just economic powerhouses, they are also becoming centers of technological innovation. China, in particular, has made significant strides in areas such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and renewable energy. The BRICS nations recognize the importance of technology for their future development. They are investing heavily in research and development and are fostering closer cooperation in the technological sphere. The Kazan summit is expected to see the announcement of new initiatives aimed at boosting technological cooperation among the BRICS nations. This could include joint research projects, technology transfer agreements, and the creation of technology parks. The BRICS nations are determined to close the technological gap with the West. Their success in this endeavor will have major implications for the future global balance of power. Section 9. The Future of Multilateralism. The BRICS summit is taking place at a time when the future of multilateralism is uncertain. The rules-based international order, established after World War II, is under strain. The rise of populism, nationalism and protectionism is threatening to undermine global cooperation. The COVID-19 pandemic has further exposed the fragility of the existing system. The BRICS nations have a stake in preserving a rules-based international order. However, they believe that the current system needs to be reformed to make it more equitable and representative. The Kazan summit will be an opportunity for the BRICS nations to articulate their vision for the future of multilateralism. They are expected to call for a more inclusive, democratic and effective system of global governance. Section 10. The Kazan Summit, a turning point. The 2024 BRICS Summit in Kazan has the potential to be a turning point in international relations. It comes at a time of great flux and uncertainty in the global order. The decisions made in Kazan could shape the world for decades to come. The summit will be a test of the BRICS nations' ability to act collectively and provide global leadership. The world will be watching closely to see if they can overcome their differences and forge a common path forward. The stakes are high. The success or failure of the Kazan summit could determine whether the world moves towards greater cooperation or conflict, towards a more just and equitable order, or towards greater division and inequality. The world holds its breath. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The BRICS nations will be at the center of it.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.